favorite things to do is to golf. I love golfing. I'm not really that great at it, but I really like golfing. And my wife also golfs, which is actually always fun. And over the last couple years, I've been trying to help her, which is not a good idea. But I've been showing her kind of something she can do. She's actually really athletic and she hits the ball solid every time, but I'm trying to just correct one little thing. And finally I'm like, you gotta get a golf lesson. So she gets a lesson here a couple weeks ago and she comes back and kind of shows me and I'm like, well, that's what I've been telling you. And she's like, no, you haven't. I'm like, yes, I have. And she's like, yeah, but you didn't tell me it like he did. And you know what, it hit me that how many times do we in organizations hear all these ideas that come at us, right? So for me, I get ideas all over the place. And sometimes it's not until the 6th or 7th time somebody else says an idea somebody else has that I actually hear it, because maybe as an organization we're ready for it, or maybe for me my plate has been so full that I'm now ready to hear it. And that's when I decide, oh yeah, that's a great idea, even though 4 other people said the idea. So what's the lesson? I guess there's 2 parts. One is, I'm sure all of us have felt like I did when my wife took a golf lesson and then said, oh yeah, he fixed everything, after I've been giving her the idea. Have you ever had that happen where you've been giving an idea and you're not getting credit for it, or maybe you don't feel heard? So as the person giving ideas, just kind of recognize that the person that you're giving ideas to might not be ignoring you, maybe it's not the right time. There's a time for everything, meaning maybe the organization isn't mature enough to handle your idea at this point. Maybe the person is too busy. Maybe they just don't see it because of the way you're saying it. And it's possible that somebody else will come along and have the same idea with the same result, and then another person will have the same idea with the same result, and then 4 or 5 people later, somebody will say it, but they'll say it just a little bit differently. And it doesn't mean that the leader was trying to not give you credit. It doesn't mean the leader was ignoring you. It just means that maybe it was different. As leaders, what we have to recognize is that this happens all the time. And we give people credit maybe that deserve the credit, but we forget to give credit to people that also had the idea. I don't have an easy answer for this. I just know this happens all the time. And for me, what I've tried to do more of is say, it's a great idea, I'm not ready. It's a great idea, the organization's not ready. Instead of ignoring it, I'm saying, I acknowledge that you said it, but we're not ready for it. And I usually forget it, unfortunately, and then when somebody else says it, I might look and say, this makes a lot of sense. So just understand, this is, I think, a tension that exists in human behavior. I think it's a tension that exists in organizations, that nobody's trying to get anybody, nobody is trying to give one person credit over another. I think it's just a tension that happens that we have to realize and figure out as human beings, how do we deal with it? So for that, my great idea for the day is to listen to this and share it with somebody who needs to hear this message, that maybe feels like you're not listening to them, or maybe they're not listening to you. But you probably won't listen to my idea, so listen to the next person that says that to you. Thanks a lot.